welcome back. Let's take a look at Ethereum together. I'm going to have to remove some of these things off the chart. That's me showing that the volume diminishes towards the upside in terms of the VPVR. Moving it here, this is the weekly chart. If the prices do manage to make themselves up above 275 area and sustain it for the week, or 280, let's call it, and sustain it for a weekly close or whatever, things would become very much bullish again. That'd be quite good. And we'd have rejected this overall downward concept, more or less, having moved above the channel area at 260 or so on the way. Now, what have we seen today so far? Our highs have been 249. Going down to the daily time frame and taking a look, we've just got this kind of consolidation that's occurring here. Now, is this potential to be bullish in a sense? Well, it is, and I've spoken quite a lot about the bearish side of things recently in quite a lot of detail. So I highly recommend you go and watch yesterday's video for more of that information. Again, yesterday's video and yesterday's Bitcoin video, very good videos, but I'm going to keep things a bit briefer and also a little bit just sort of more just looking at sort of the trend is your friend type philosophy on this one just for now. So looking here in terms of the 24-hour time frame, we've had highs come in here, and at this point, and comparative to our previous highs over here, they're bearishly divergent. So there's that to be aware of, and that is the case across the board. But we also have the concept of an ascending triangle here in the stochastics you could look at, and potentially the same sort of idea, or a symmetrical triangle, perhaps even here on the RSI or something like that, which could give you a bit of a boost up. On the RSI, there's plenty of scope for headroom there. Not so much in the stochastics, but we could come up above this line here at 94.40 or so, which I put on the charts, I think back here. No, back here, when was it? I put them on the charts. Oh yeah, just in there at 27th of April or so, saying that we could have seen a turnaround from those prices, given that was so high. We could see that coming in again and challenging for that, and seeing if we can come up there and manage to beat our previous highs in terms of the 27th or 29th of April and whatever, and do it without the divergence. Now, at the minute, we're going to have divergence on the go unless we have a breakout of this sort of ascending triangle towards the top side and go quite oversold, at which point you maybe get a healthy turnaround in these upper areas like we spoke about kind of at the start in terms of the weekly. So you can draw your eyes back to that chart should we see price moving towards the upside. And in terms of the bearish case scenario, like I said, go and watch yesterday's video, because it's still absolutely relevant today. Nothing has changed. It's absolutely relevant. And every video I put out, I tried to make last for more than one day, so yesterday's ones are particularly easy to look at in terms of that sense of things. In terms of the 236, just going from the lows down in March up to the recent highs, and you're looking at 217 for support, but there's plenty of support to be found along the way. For instance, at 225, which we've seen active support recently, and 230, which you've seen active support recently. If we go down to a lower time frame then to get a bit of a shape on this thing, then what can we say here? Well, perhaps we have a head and shoulders that is worth pointing out, in terms of just the shape of this. Before I point that out, I suppose, looking at here, you've got low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher everything. This is an upward trend, high, higher low, just, but it is, and so forth. So you've got that upward trend. Volume has gone up a little bit, I suppose, overall, kind of, and so you could look towards that. And if I just bring up the oscillators, in fact, at this point here, and say, but to be aware that is bearish divergence, throughout this period here. So what would tie together with that, fair enough, would of course be if this was a head and shoulders, not too dissimilar to the Bitcoin video. And if one of these were to choose to lead the other one, well then, of course, I think if one of them did this sort of scenario, then you'd be looking at it dragging the other one along with it, most likely. You also have this kind of line here, if you want to draw the neck in very sort of, the neckline there is ridiculous as a neckline. Let's actually not have that as a neckline. Let's just say the neckline is more like something like this, for instance, or whatever, to begin with, and say, maybe this is what's going on the go. And yeah, okay, so if you break down below the 235, 230 area, it's no surprise those numbers kind of would be what you'd expect me to be talking about anyway, given what we've talked about so much. Then you could be looking down towards the 215 area, and where the 236 is, and etc., and asking those questions that need to be asked perhaps at the bottom of this channel as part of an overall healthy upward trend. This could be a short-term reversal pattern here on a small time frame. So especially you've got the 2-for-1 there in that aspect of things. The 21 EMA coming in there at about 240 would be what you'd want to see being respected in terms of just continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, because you don't want to see an actual local low come in here, because that would mean that this is a local high, in which case you would have a head and shoulders on the go of some description at that point, be asking serious questions, and also have to question whether or not that's a downtrend. And it's of course, there's all that bearish divergence on the go. So, that's all of that to be looked at, and that's good. But if we get a rejection of this, moving up above the head, for instance, so if the prices go up towards that 250s area again, and the volume continues to go up at that point there, pardon me, give us a volume candle that looks something like this, for instance, as we're going up towards there, then you'd be able to thoroughly say that that's been rejected as a concept, and we wouldn't need to worry about it anymore. Of course, profit taking targets towards the upside are that 256 area and 253 really as well, and where we have this upward sloping trend line at really in general. And that's going to do us for today. Again, I want to reiterate, you want to watch yesterday's video, you really do. This one is specifically a short one. Yesterday's one wasn't that much longer, but it's got a lot more detail in it, and whatever. And the Bitcoin videos as well, I always think you should watch. I think you should watch all the videos. I don't know. Right. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the views. I really do. If you stuck through to now in the video, then super duper. And go ahead and watch the video that should be appearing up here, just up here somewhere. There's a video should be appearing on the screen. You can click that. It'll be the one that's recommended for you from YouTube. I just say best for viewer, or indeed click one of the cards that's popped up, or whatever. Click on the channel, whatever, and going through and watch some more of the videos there, because there's a lot of good stuff out there. I really do appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much. I'll catch you next time.